because a number of you have made long-term commitment to Agami through your donations, through your volunteering time, and many other ways. Agami is what it is today because of you. And therefore, we strongly feel that you have every right to know how Agami is doing, how your money is being spent, and what is Agami's vision and future. And we'll try to answer these questions, obviously briefly, in this first segment.
Watch an Agami film, and this film is made by Raihan Rafi, and this is just to show impact of Agami. Sophia to introduce the panelists and the panel.
Hi, my name is Sabir Majumdar and I'm the president of Agami Incorporation.
My name is Nisar Ahmed. I have been working with Agami from the inception, 2003. And I've played different roles, and right now I lead the school program.
Hello, I'm Mustafiz. This is Mustafiz Chaudhuri. I'm one of the 3 board of directors, and I've been engaged with Agami for several years.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, gentlemen, for introducing yourselves. Have a seat, and we'll go ahead and get started. No seat for me, I get to stand. So the first topic that we thought you'd want to hear more about is the Khan Academy. And so what we've done is put together some questions, and our panelists are going to answer them. So the first, Nisar Bhai, if you could tell us, what is an inverted classroom model?
So I think the term we use is called flipped classroom. And what it is it's basically, if you think of a traditional classroom, flipped classroom is exactly if you flip the traditional classroom on its head, that's what flipped classroom is. So how does it work? In a flipped classroom, the students get introduced to a topic outside of the classroom. So they can use resources like Khan Academy website to learn about the topic. And then when they come to the classroom time is used to basically discuss the topic within the classroom with other students, get extended help from the teacher. So teacher can focus on identifying who needs extra help. And
those who are in the audience, we're presenting this information in a very concise way. It's very short. This is about the only time you'll have to sit and listen to us. So if I could really have your attention, I would appreciate it. The last question we have for Mustafiz Bhai is Khan Academy Bangla program ready for national level implementation?
Yeah, very good question. First, I wanted to at least give everyone a flavor of what does the Khan Academy Bangla program mean. This is basically a program now, which is a website, a Khan Academy website, which is being used, extensively in the United States, but in Bengali, so that the kids of Agami's kids, with underprivileged kids, as well as other kids in Bangladesh, can navigate the website completely in Bengali. And then when you go to the website, there are both subject material and non-subject material. And those are being populated in Bangla or Bengali, okay? And it's starting with math, and then will be populated with computer science, and then the rest of the stuff will come along. So that's it's a very big deal, and this has been possible by an initiative that we did that you heard Salman Khan mention, that with Grameen Phone and with Khan Academy, we started that in July, and 1st of March, this went live. So folks are now able to use that. With respect to the national level implementation, obviously you can't take that big leap. So what's being done is a phased approach. And the first approach is about 20 schools that are going to be piloted over the next 12 months in Bangladesh, in collaboration with both the public sector, which is the government, the ICT ministry, as well as Grameen Phone. Other very large and reputable organizations such as BRAC and World Bank have also expressed interest. What our team, Khan Academy team, within Agami is doing is they are getting ready with a multi-year plan, and this eventually to do at the national level will probably need about $1 million a year at its peak and a lot of more people. But Agami will be enabling that, and making sure through the pilot and various tiers of practice that we would go through. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Isbai. Okay, if I could ask the parents to just hold on to their kids for a little bit longer. We're on our last topic. We're going to talk about operational growth. And this is important because the good news is we're growing and we have a lot to do and we have to accommodate that growth. This is no longer just the idea of a graduate student at Berkeley. This is a full-fledged nonprofit organization and we need to plan for that growth. So our panelists are going to answer some questions. The first is your zero overhead model sustainable with your growth patterns? And I'll direct this towards Nisarpai.
So a long time ago when we started working, we adopted this zero overhead policy because at the time we were small, we had very small budget. We are working with a handful of schools and we wanted to make sure all the donations we receive is being used for the kids in those schools. So good news is that Agami has grown. Now in our school program itself, we have 18 schools that we are supporting this year. Which is a 20% increase from last year when we had 15 schools. Now, when you look at this growth, it comes with a serious responsibility to make sure that we are, at the end of the day, we are fulfilling our mission. So what it means that we are operating these 18 schools, so we have to make sure the money in these schools are utilized properly, which means we need somebody to monitor that. So we implemented a program we call School Monitoring Program, where we have a full-time staff in Dhaka who has the responsibility to every year visit each of these schools twice, and once we schedule the visit with the school, and another visit is completely surprise visit to the school. So the school authority would not even know when the visit is happening. So for this program, this person who is being paid by Agami to do all this work, and then he's collecting data, he's analyzing data. This requires some investment to pay for his salary and to pay for his trips. So this is, compared to our actual funds that we provide to school, it's a small amount, but still it's a money that technically we would consider as an overhead. But this overhead is well worth spending because it ensures our work, ensures the beneficiaries are getting what they're supposed to get. So from that perspective, I would say that if we want to grow, if Agami wants to grow, and for the beneficiaries and for Agami's own growth, we really cannot sustain that zero overhead any longer. So I think at the end of the day, we would like to talk to you individually to figure out, what is an acceptable level of overhead that we may need to spend to ensure the quality of work that we want to do in the field.
Okay, thank you, Nisarpai. We have our next question, and thank you, parents. I know it's a much quieter room now, and I appreciate you talking to your kids. Our next question is from Mustafa Isbai. How are you going to adjust with the needs on the ground in Bangladesh and in the U.S. in the next 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, thanks, Sophia. This is again very related to what Nisar was mentioning. I think Bangladesh. We're very proud, and I'm personally, that Agami, we've been running it as an all-volunteer organization. Everybody's got a full-time job, and they're still doing. And many of you who are involved with organizations and volunteer know how strenuous this can be. Okay, so this has been a volunteer organization, but as we have taken on projects like the Khan Academy project, we have done a project with Asian Development Bank and now others. Now for those implementations, as you already know, as you may have heard, that we are hiring folks. We have employees in Bangladesh. In the US, it's still a completely volunteer organization with employees, but they are all still being paid out of the projects, the project grants. Going forward, as we scale, and we're seeing a tremendous amount of interest for scaling because of the impact to the kids in Bangladesh and probably elsewhere when we take the same model. Okay, we will need to hire dedicated people. Okay, otherwise we will not be doing justice to the grants and the contributions and the donations that you are entrusting us to impart quality education. So for scaling, we will have to hire people. In Bangladesh, I think one of the key positions that we'll need to fill is the country director position. I anticipate that we will have to start doing some of that in the US as well. But I think Agami will still continue to have a very wide and a very strong base of volunteers, and I'm confident with that base of volunteers, we'll continue to be able to operate Agami with very minimal overhead compared to organizations of this scale and scope. So thanks for your trust in us.
Thank you, Mr. Bhai. Okay, and this is our last question. We're almost done. Hang in there. This is an important one. Sabir Bhai, how are you going to be a $1 million annual budget nonprofit organization by 2020? Is it achievable?
All right, I have to get up now. We're talking about $1 million organization annually. This is the most interesting and most challenging question for me, especially being the sitting president of the organization. And with that direction and that goal, that is the reason actually you came here today. Not only to eat, not only to have fun. So that means I hope you have brought your checks with you. All right, with that introduction, yes, it's an achievable goal. In my mind, by 2020, by our effort, by our plan, by our all other means of team activities, definitely, I have no doubt about it. I'll give you a couple of examples to elaborate and justify my answer. In last 2 to 3 years, from one year to the next year, or year over year growth is about 35%, or in the range of 35 to 40% from 1 year to the next year. With that rate, in next 4 to 5 years, there is no issue, no confusion in my mind, we'll be there, $1 million organization annually. But to give you a little more perspective, how are we going to get there? We are working very hard with our partners, both here in US and in Bangladesh, for doing specific tasks, specific programs, specific ideas, including the government and non-government entities in Bangladesh. Here in the US, no, we are not working with the government, but some funding agencies, some patrons, and etc. With that, the trend I see, the interest I see in Bangladesh and here in the US, we can achieve 50% annual basis growth, and we'll be there definitely by 2020, if not before. But I'll give you an example about Khan Academy program, as the panel has discussed and gave you some information. We have worked with Asian Development Bank. Now we are working with Grameen Fund. Now we are actually working with World Bank. I just visited Dhaka, stayed there for a month, and had some conversation, dialogues with government ministries and World Bank and other entities. They are seriously interested. They are taking into the steps to make sure Bangladesh government come up with 5-year plan to support Khan Academy program and other program Agami is working on. So if that work out, no problem, no confusion. But we need your support, your help, your checks, and etc. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabir Bhai. Okay, well that concludes our panel discussion. There are 3 very informed individuals, but this isn't the end of your opportunity to ask questions. We have email accounts for all of our attendees here, or panelists here, as well as other people who are part of Agami. So please, this is just the beginning. Feel free to ask other questions. It's your money. It's important that you know where it's going. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining us, and we'll move on to the rest of the program. And I'll take off my panelist hat and put on another hat and ask you to please participate in the raffle and the auction. We have some great items, and all of the money goes towards Agami. So if you're planning on donating anyway, it's a good opportunity for you to get an item as well. Thank you, everybody.
And now, I would like to invite Dr. Bodrul Sarwar, our grant director, to the stage. So Bodrul recently won the prestigious Test of Time Award for real-world impact of his PhD research work. Last year, same award was won by Google founders. Please congratulate Bodrul. He made us real proud. And can you really acknowledge really loudly, please? One more time. Thank you. I know Bodrul for so many years now. Only one thing I want to say, such a humble person, such a generous heart he has. I really don't see many of them. We have many of them, but he is really as a true friend to me. And anytime I wanted him, he was very generous about Agami. So really glad to have him here with us with Agami. So, another announcement. Recently, Agami has been awarded a grant from Mentor Graphic Foundation for its Life is Fun initiative. Now, on behalf of Mentor Graphic, Abu Hassan is going to hand over the grant check of 5,000 to our grant director, Bodrul Munir Sarwar.
Thanks a lot, everyone, for your support and all sorts of outpouring of congratulations and everything I've been getting so far. Thank you. And I'd like to especially thank Mentor Graphics for this grant, $5,000. It will be utilized for Life is Fun, the science education program that Agami is running. And thanks to Hassan Bhai for being employee sponsor of this grant. And this is the fifth year Mentor Graphics has been giving grants to Agami. So big hand for Mentor Graphics and to Hassan Bhai. And as a director of grants, I have the question: how can I have 50 clones of Hassan Bhai so that we can have like at least 30 or 40 checks like that every year? I have an idea. Actually, you guys, all of you can actually be like Hassan Bhai. Please reach out to your company's grant giving programs and just nominate Agami as your charity, and we will take up the rest, and we will actually help you with grant writing. That's our job, and together we can deliver big wins like that. Thank you again. Thank you.
So now we're going to wrap up this first segment, but before we wrap up, we'd like to definitely thank our event sponsors.
Thanks to our event sponsor. Without your financial support, we could not have done it. Please, everyone, give a big hand to all of our sponsors.
And they are Abu Nur Zaman, Penox Venture Capital,
Lina Badruzaman, New York Live,
Tipu Rahman and Tipu Rahman, Calcoast Financial Group,
Ishtiaq Ahmed Kamal, Prime Silicon Technologies,
Dean Lay, Solo Point Solutions.
Lumineer Innovations,
The bronze sponsors, Samia Naz, Midrar Fashions,
Shaba Rashid Wells Fargo Advisors,
Eurocar,
Silver Creek Dental Group.
and Plotter Pros.
Thank you.
Okay, now the most important thing of the day. Now we're going to show you the donation chart. That's really why we are here. At least I'm here. So get ready with your wallet and the credit card. We'll see where we are and where we need to go. Can we get the donation tally? So this is how it's going to work. Our target today is, are you ready for it? $100,000. That's a big number. But we have to hit that number. You have not disappointed us any year before, so I'm sure we will go home happy, all of us, by hitting that target. But it is pretty big, But the good news is that we're not starting from scratch. We already have $55,000 of donations and pledges, right? So we're halfway there, more than halfway there. So now we're counting on the people here to make up the rest, which is $45,000. So we'll continue bugging all of you until we hit that number. We can lock the door if you want, but we have to hit that number. So that's the challenge to you. Keep thinking. We'll be coming back to you in a few minutes. Thank you. We made great progress in the last half an hour, but we still have ways to go. Are you guys ready to show it? So our target again is $100,000. We started with $55,000. Let's see how much you have helped us in last half an hour. So I think it's showing that we are at 70,000 now, 70. So good progress. If we go at this rate, we'll be done.
Today, organizations like Agami are creating a new dialogue, a dialogue that teaches young people about the possibility, the great possibility of a different world, of a world of peace and harmony. And of course, here in one of the most diverse places in the world, Silicon Valley, we have such a huge opportunity to model that, to be a beacon of hope in not just prosperity, but hope and peace and harmony among people, among the world's religions. And of course, we need to model that for our children. They're the ones who can change all of this. And the world got smaller. When organizations like Agami can reach across from here in the Bay Area, overseas and back again, it shows you now that this really is possible. It really is possible. So thank you all for contributing to that. I look forward to being more supportive in future years, and I look forward to being back. It's wonderful to see my Bangladeshi friends from my hometown.